3 days passed since Wu Jin was taken. The Krell ship had jumped to hyperspace immediately after picking him up. The destroyer had tracked them for a while but eventually lost the signal. As promised, the Krell commander had activated every jamming device he had. On Valorum Station, Yun-Su stood in the cargo bay of Wu Jin's ship. She hadn't left orbit. Despite the captain being gone, despite having no way to track him, she stayed. The crew thought she was in denial. They were wrong. Ji-Hai approached carefully. Yun-Su, we need to talk about supplies. We've been sitting here for 3 days. Food is running low. We need to make a decision. We're not leaving, Yun-Su said without looking up from her data pad. I'm not saying we leave forever, just we could resupply and come back. Wait somewhere more comfortable. No, we stay in orbit. Captain's orders, Ji-Hai sighed. The captain is gone. You're in command now. You can make different choices. Yun-Su finally looked up. Her eyes were red from lack of sleep, but they were fierce. Protocol Guardian is active. We follow it exactly. That means we stay here until either the captain returns or the protocol completes. No exceptions. What exactly is Protocol Guardian? Ji-Hai asked. You both acted like it was some secret plan, but nobody else knows what it means. It means we wait. And we trust. Meanwhile, far across space, Wu Jin was learning what it meant to be a Krell prisoner. The mining facility on asteroid KR-771 was exactly as bad as he'd imagined. Maybe worse. The asteroid had been hollowed out over decades. Tunnels ran through it like veins, each one carved by slave labor. The air was thin and tasted like metal. Artificial gravity kept everyone pressed to the floor, but it was weak and inconsistent. One moment you felt normal, the next you felt like you were floating. Wu Jin was processed quickly. They shaved his head, gave him gray prison clothes, and assigned him to Tunnel 7. A Krell guard explained the rules with bored efficiency. Work 12 hours, rest 6. Eat twice a day. No talking during work. No fighting. Break the rules, face punishment, simple. The other prisoners watched Wu Jin with curious eyes. Humans were rare in Krell mines. Most humans died within months. Their bodies weren't built for this kind of work. The thin air, the heavy labor, the poor food, it killed them quickly. But Wu Jin didn't act like someone facing death. On his first day, he observed everything. The guard rotations, the meal schedule, the tunnel layouts. He counted steps between checkpoints. He memorized faces. He paid attention to every detail. On the second day, he started talking to other prisoners. A Valacian man named Torin worked next to him. Torin had been here for 3 years. He had gray skin now instead of blue from the dust. Human, you should save your strength, Torin said quietly. Don't try to be friendly. Everyone here has given up. We're just waiting to die. I'm not waiting to die, Wu Jin replied. Then you're planning to escape? Impossible. They've tried. Everyone who tries ends up dead. I'm not planning to escape. Torin looked confused. Then what are you doing? I'm buying time. That made no sense to Torin, so he stopped asking questions. By the third day, Wu Jin had mapped out the entire guard rotation schedule. There were 12 guards per shift, rotating every 8 hours. They were lazy. After the first 2 hours, they barely watched the prisoners. They were confident that nobody would try anything. Wu Jin started sharing his food. When he received his portion, he gave half to whoever looked hungriest. At first, people were suspicious. Why would someone give away food in a place like this? But hunger overcame suspicion. They accepted. On day 4, he started helping injured prisoners. A young Tenthorian had hurt his arm in a tunnel collapse. The guards didn't care. Wu Jin used strips from his own clothes to make a basic bandage. It wasn't much, but it helped. Why do you do this? The Tenthorian asked. We're all going to die here anyway. Maybe, Wu Jin said. But that doesn't mean we can't help each other while we're alive. Word spread through the facility. The human was different. He shared, he helped. He didn't act defeated. Slowly, other prisoners started watching him. Some began to hope, even though they didn't know why. By day 5, Wu Jin had quietly identified every weakness in the facility. The ventilation system could be accessed from Tunnel 3. The main power generator was poorly guarded during shift changes. The food storage had a faulty lock. The communication system had a blind spot near the medical bay. He didn't do anything with this information. He just collected it. Stored it, waited. Torin finally asked the question that everyone wanted to ask. What are you waiting for, human? What's your plan? Wu Jin smiled. I told you. I'm buying time. Time for what? For them to come. Who? My people. Torin shook his head. No one is coming. The Krell commander said any rescue attempt would void the deal. Your people agreed to leave you here. They agreed not to follow immediately. They agreed not to attempt a rescue right away. But they didn't agree to abandon me. There's a difference. You're being foolish. Even if they wanted to rescue you, they can't track this facility. The Krell use constantly changing coordinates. No one knows where we are. Wu Jin touched his chest right over his heart. They know. How? Because I'm human. And humans don't leave their own behind. Back on Valorum Station, Lyra visited the human ship every day. She brought food for the crew. It wasn't much. Just simple meals she cooked herself, but it was her way of saying thank you. The humans had saved her daughter. This was the least she could do. Neela came with her. The little girl was fascinated by the human ship. It looked different from other vessels. More functional, less decorative. Everything had a purpose. Is he coming back? Neela asked Yunsu one day. Yunsu knelt down. Yes, he's coming back. How do you know? Because he's our captain. And he promised to keep your beads safe. Humans keep their promises. Neela seemed satisfied with this answer. She went back to playing with a small toy Jihai had made for her. Lyra spoke quietly. You've been here for 3 days. Aren't you worried? What if the Krell kill him? They won't, Yunsu said with certainty. How can you be sure? Yunsu pulled out her data pad. See this counter? It's been running since the captain was taken. It's counting up. Counting what? Time until rescue. Lyra looked confused. But you said you can't track him. You said the Krell are jamming everything. We can't track his location, but we can track him. Every human ship captain has a medical implant. It monitors vital signs, health, stress levels. The captain's implant is still active. That means he's alive. And as long as he's alive, we know exactly where he is. But you said... I said the Krell were jamming tracking devices. They are. But the medical implant isn't a tracking device. It's medical equipment. It broadcasts on a completely different frequency. The Krell don't even know it exists. It's a human secret. We don't advertise it. Lyra stared at the data pad. So you've known where he is this whole time? Within 100 kilometers, yes. The signal isn't precise, but it's enough. Right now he's on asteroid KR771. It's a mining facility. We've been monitoring his vital signs. He's stressed but alive. His heart rate indicates he's working hard but not being tortured. He's eating regularly. He's sleeping a few hours each night. Then why haven't you rescued him yet? Unsu smiled grimly. Protocol Guardian. The captain activated it for a reason. We wait 7 days. During those 7 days, we send out a coded message to every human ship within 50 light years. We tell them what happened. We ask for volunteers. Anyone who can help does help. 7 days? Lyra did the math in her head. That's 4 more days from now. Yes, on day 7 we go get him. And we won't go alone. How many ships have responded? Yunsu turned the data pad around. Lyra's eyes widened. The list of ships went on and on. Each one had a name, a captain, and a status. Most said confirmed. 17 ships, Yunsu said quietly. That's how many responded in the first day. Now we're up to 34. More arrive every few hours. Merchant ships, explorer vessels, transport craft, even a few private yachts. All human. All volunteering. All coming to rescue one captain who sacrificed himself to save others. That's an entire fleet. Yes, that's what humans do. We protect our own. The captain knew this would happen. That's why he went willingly. He knew we'd come. He knew we'd bring others. He was buying time for us to prepare. Lyra felt tears forming. He planned this from the beginning. He gambled on human nature, on our inability to leave someone behind. He was right to gamble. We never disappoint each other when it matters. On the asteroid, Wu Jin was having dinner with Torin and several other prisoners. The food was terrible as always. Some kind of protein paste that tasted like cardboard. But Wu Jin shared his portion as he did every meal. Only 4 more days, he said quietly. Torin looked at him. 4 days until what? Until they come. You keep saying that. I'm starting to believe you actually think it's true. Wu Jin smiled. It is true. I've been counting. Today is day 3. Protocol Guardian requires 7 days. 4 more days and this place gets very interesting. Even if ships come, the Krell have defenses. Weapons. Ships. They'll fight. Yes, they will. That's why I've been preparing. Preparing how? Wu Jin looked around at the other prisoners. They were all listening now. I've been showing you the guard rotations. The facility weaknesses, the escape routes. The marketplace slowly came back to life. People began moving again, talking in hushed voices. But everyone kept glancing at the 4 humans who had saved them. Vendors started packing up their goods, eager to leave. The sense of safety that Valorum Station once provided had been shattered. Lyra still held Neela tightly. She watched as the Krell soldiers disappeared into the distance. It didn't feel real. One moment her daughter was being taken, and the next she was safe. All because a human stranger had stepped forward. Wu Jin walked over to them. Up close, Lyra could see he looked tired. There were lines around his eyes. His hands had scars, the kind that came from years of work. He knelt down to be at Neela's level. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. Neela nodded, hiding her face in her mother's shoulder. "You were very brave," Wu Jin said. "I know that was scary." "Thank you," Lyra managed to say. Her voice shook. "Thank you for saving her. I thought I'd lost her." "You would have done the same," Wu Jin replied. "You offered yourself first. That took real courage, but they didn't listen to me. They listened to you." Wu Jin's expression grew sad, only because they fear humans. They should have listened to a mother's love. That should mean something. Before Lyra could respond, Yunsu approached quickly. "Captain, we have a problem." Wu Jin stood up. "What kind of problem?" "The Krell ship isn't leaving. It's still in orbit." Everyone turned to look at Yunsu. Wu Jin's jaw tightened. "I thought the destroyer was escorting them out." "It is. But the Krell commander is refusing to engage engines. He's just sitting there." "I think," Yunsu hesitated, "I think he's waiting to see what we do next." "He can't stay here," Jihai said. "The station authorities will arrest him for what he did." "Will they?" Teho asked quietly. "The station guards didn't show up during the raid. They didn't help anyone. I don't think they want to get involved." He was right. The station's security forces had been absent during the entire incident. Whether from cowardice or orders from above, they hadn't interfered. Now the Krell commander was calling everyone's bluff. Wu Jin touched his communicator. "This is Captain Kim to Krell vessel. Respond." After a moment, the commander's voice came through. "I'm here, human. You agreed to leave. Why are you still in orbit?" "I've been thinking about our conversation. You were right about some things. I can't return to my clan empty-handed. They'll kill me for failure. But I also can't fight you, not here, not now. So I have a proposal." Wu Jin exchanged glances with his crew. "I'm listening. 1 prisoner. That's all I need. 1 significant prisoner to prove the raid wasn't a complete failure. Give me 1 and I'll leave peacefully. Refuse and I'll wait here until reinforcements arrive. Then we'll take everyone." The marketplace fell silent again. People who had started to relax now looked scared once more. "That's not going to happen," Wu Jin said firmly. "We're not giving you anyone. Then we're at an impasse. My reinforcements will arrive in approximately 6 hours. Your destroyer is powerful, but it's only 1 ship. When my clan arrives with 3 warships, the situation changes. People will die." "Is that what you want?" Wu Jin muted the communicator. "Is he telling the truth about reinforcements?" Yunsu checked her sensors. "I'm picking up subspace signals. Could be ships preparing to jump. If they're really 3 warships, this could get bad fast. We could call for backup too," Jihai suggested. "Takes time," Teho said. "Those 17 civilian ships won't be enough against Krell warships. We'd need actual military support, and that's hours away." Wu Jin looked at the frightened people in the marketplace. Children clung to their parents. Merchants stood frozen, unsure whether to run or hide. This was supposed to be a safe place. He had made it worse by interfering. If Krell warships came, innocent people would die in the crossfire. He unmuted the communicator. "What kind of prisoner are you looking for?" "Someone valuable," the commander replied. "Someone whose capture means something. An official, a wealthy merchant, a ship captain. Someone who can justify the resources we spent on this raid." Wu Jin's crew looked at him with growing concern. They could all see where this was going. "Captain, no," Yunsu said immediately. "I'm a ship captain," Wu Jin said into the communicator, ignoring his security officer. "I know trade routes, navigation secrets, military patrol schedules. I'm worth more than anyone here. Take me and leave everyone else alone." "No!" Yunsu grabbed his arm. "We can fight them. We can hold out until backup arrives." "And how many people die while we wait?" Wu Jin asked. "This marketplace is full of civilians, children, families. If Krell warships start firing, this station doesn't stand a chance. We don't negotiate with slavers, Jihai protested. I'm not negotiating. I'm making a choice. Lyra stepped forward, still holding Neela. Please don't. You just saved my daughter. Don't sacrifice yourself now, Wu Jin smiled at her. Your daughter is safe. That's what matters. But if that commander is telling the truth, everyone here is in danger. I can end this right now, Captain, Tejo said quietly. You know what happens to prisoners in Krell mines. The survival rate is less than 30%. Most people don't last a year. I know. Then you know this is a death sentence. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm human. We're hard to kill. The commander's voice came through the communicator again. I'm waiting for your answer, Captain Kim. You have 2 minutes to decide. Wu Jin looked at his crew. Yunsu had tears in her eyes. Jihai looked angry and helpless. Tejo just looked sad. They had served together for 3 years. They were more than crew. They were family. If I don't come back, Wu Jin said slowly, Yunsu takes command of the ship. Jihai, make sure my family knows what happened. Tejo, take care of everyone. We're not letting you do this, Yunsu said fiercely. It's not your choice. It's mine. I'm the captain, he smiled. Besides, you know the protocol. Protocol Guardian. Yunsu's eyes widened. You can't be serious. What's Protocol Guardian? Lyra asked. Yunsu didn't answer. She just stared at Wu Jin with a mixture of fear and hope. Wu Jin unmuted the communicator. I accept your offer, Commander. I'll come to your ship alone, no tracking devices. In exchange, you leave this station immediately and release everyone. No more raids. No more prisoners. Just me, agreed. But there's one condition. If any human ship follows us, if there's any rescue attempt, the deal is off. You come alone and you stay alone. Do you understand? Wu Jin hesitated for just a moment. I understand. Good. We'll send a shuttle to pick you up. 1 hour. Be ready. The communication ended. The marketplace remained silent. Wu Jin began checking his equipment, preparing for what came next. Captain, Yunsu said, her voice breaking. Protocol Guardian means I know what it means, Wu Jin interrupted gently. That's why I activated it. Trust the protocol. Trust each other. And trust that I know what I'm doing. He handed her his personal weapon. Then he removed his jacket, his tools, everything that might contain tracking devices. He kept only his basic clothes. 1 hour, he said. Make it count. His crew stood frozen, watching him prepare. Around them, the marketplace slowly emptied. People fled, grateful to be alive but disturbed by what they'd witnessed. A human was sacrificing himself to save them all. Neela pulled away from her mother and walked up to Wu Jin. She held out the string of blue beads she'd made earlier. For you, she said softly. So you remember someone is waiting for you to come home. Wu Jin knelt down and accepted the beads. He put them in his pocket carefully. Thank you. I'll keep these safe. Promise? Neela asked. I promise. The little girl hugged him quickly, then ran back to her mother. Lyra mouthed the words, thank you again, unable to speak. The hour passed too quickly. The Krell shuttle arrived exactly on time. Wu Jin walked toward it alone, his crew watching from a distance. He didn't look back. If he did, he might lose his resolve. The shuttle doors opened. Krell soldiers waited inside. Wu Jin climbed aboard and the doors closed behind him. Then he was gone. The standoff continued. Neither side moved. The Krell commander stood frozen, his hand still raised. The human called Wu Jin waited patiently, his weapon steady. Around them, the marketplace remained silent. Finally, the Krell commander lowered his hand. Put the child down, he ordered his soldier. The soldier hesitated. Commander? Put her down, now. The soldier set Neela on the ground. The little girl immediately ran to her mother. Lyra grabbed her with all 4 arms, sobbing with relief. She held her daughter so tight that Neela squeaked. Mama, too tight, Neela whispered. But Lyra couldn't let go. She had thought she'd lost her daughter forever. Now Neela was back in her arms, safe and warm. Tears flowed down Lyra's blue cheeks. The Krell commander looked at Wu Jin with cold hatred. You've made an enemy today, human. I've made many enemies, Wu Jin replied calmly. One more doesn't scare me. You think you've won? We're leaving with prisoners. Just not that one child. The others are still coming with us. Wu Jin's eyes narrowed. No, you're leaving with no one. That wasn't our agreement. We didn't make an agreement, Wu Jin said. I told you to leave. All of you, empty-handed. The commander's voice grew dangerous. I can't return to my clan with nothing. I need something to show for this raid. If I go back empty-handed, they'll kill me. So I'm leaving with at least some prisoners even if I can't have the child. Wu Jin considered this. Around the marketplace, the other prisoners stood in a frightened group. There were about 15 of them, ranging from teenagers to adults. All of them looked terrified. Why do you raid? Wu Jin asked suddenly. The question surprised the commander. What? Why do you take slaves? What's the reason? The commander frowned. For workers. We have mining operations. We need labor. So it's about economics, Wu Jin said. You need workers, so you steal people. You justify it by saying it's just business. It is business. It's how the Krell survive. Wu Jin shook his head slowly. No, it's how the Krell choose to survive. There's a difference. You could hire workers. You could pay them. You could trade fairly. But you don't because slavery is easier. It's cheaper. And you think you're strong enough to get away with it? We are strong enough. Are you? Wu Jin gestured around the marketplace. Right now you're surrounded. Your ship is locked down by a destroyer. You can't take any prisoners. You can't even leave safely unless I let you. Does that sound like strength to you? The commander's face darkened with rage, but he didn't respond. Wu Jin continued. Let me tell you something about humans. Something your people need to understand. We're not the biggest species in the galaxy. We're not the toughest. We don't have the best technology. But we have something that makes us very dangerous. What's that? The commander asked mockingly. Your mercy? Your kindness? Those are weaknesses. No, Wu Jin said. We remember. That's our greatest strength. We remember everything. Every crime. Every victim. Every injustice. And we never forget. He holstered his weapon slowly. The other humans kept theirs ready, but Wu Jin continued talking. There's a human saying, elephants never forget. Elephants are large animals from Earth. They have incredible memories. They remember locations, other elephants, and people who help or hurt them, even after decades. Humans are like that too. We remember. The commander listened despite himself. The New Soul raid happened 20 years ago. Wu Jin continued. 20 years. Most species would forget after that long. They'd move on. Not humans. We tracked every single person involved. We spent resources, time, and effort. We could have used those resources for other things, but we didn't. Because we remember. He pointed at the prisoners. If you take any of these people, we'll remember that too. Every face. Every name. We'll remember you, Commander. We'll remember your ship, your clan. Everything. And one day, maybe not today, maybe not this year, but someday we'll come for them. And for you. You're one ship, the commander protested. One crew. You can't threaten the entire Krell Empire. I'm not one ship, Wu Jin corrected. I'm human. That means I'm part of humanity. All of humanity. When you hurt one of us, you hurt all of us. When you threaten something we care about, we all respond. He tapped his communicator again. How many ships are within range right now, Yunsu? The woman with short hair checked her device. 17 human ships within 3 light years, Captain. All civilian vessels. All captains have confirmed they're ready to respond if needed. 17 ships, Wu Jin repeated. All civilian. Merchants, traders, explorers. None of them are military. But every single one will come if I call. Do you know why? The commander didn't answer. Because we're human. Because we protect each other. Because when one of us sees injustice, all of us respond. That's how we work. That's how we've always worked. It's not about military strength. It's about being connected, being united, caring about each other and about innocent beings who can't protect themselves. Wu Jin's voice grew softer but more intense. You look at us and see weakness because we don't have claws or armor. You think we're soft because we talk about peace. But you're wrong. We're not soft. We're patient. We're not weak. We're careful. We choose restraint not because we can't fight, but because we know what happens when we do. He met the commander's eyes directly. We're very good at war, Commander. Terrifyingly good. We've fought wars on our own planet for thousands of years. We've perfected violence in ways that would horrify you. But we choose not to use that knowledge unless we have to. We choose peace. We choose mercy. We choose restraint. Then you are weak, the commander insisted. No, Wu Jin said quietly. Choosing restraint when you have the power to destroy is the opposite of weakness. It's the definition of strength. Real strength is knowing you could hurt someone and choosing not to. Weakness is hurting others because you're afraid they'll hurt you first. The marketplace remained completely silent. Everyone listened. Even the Krell soldiers seemed affected by the words. Here's what's going to happen, Wujin said. You're going to release all the prisoners. Right now, then you're going to walk back to your ship slowly. You're going to leave Valorum Station. The destroyer will escort you to the edge of this system. Then you'll go home, and if I refuse, the commander asked. Then we'll stop you, Wujin said simply. Right here, right now. Your choice. Do you want to be remembered as the commander who started a war over pride? Or do you want to live and fight another day? The commander stood silent for a long moment. Pride warred with survival instinct. Finally, survival won. Release them, he ordered his soldiers. All of them. The soldiers looked shocked but obeyed. The prisoners were freed. They scattered quickly, running to safety. Some of them thanked Wujin as they passed. Others were too scared to speak. The Krell soldiers began their slow walk back toward their landing bay. The commander paused before leaving. You should have killed us when you had the chance, human. We'll remember this too. We'll come back. Wujin smiled sadly. If you come back, we'll be ready. We're always ready. That's another thing about humans. We learn from every encounter. We adapt, we prepare. Next time will be harder for you, not easier. The commander said nothing more. He turned and walked away, his soldiers following. The humans waited until the Krell were completely gone before lowering their weapons. The human walked forward with steady steps. Lyra watched from the ground, still pinned by the soldier's boot. She didn't understand what this stranger was doing. Didn't he know how dangerous the Krell were? They would kill him without a second thought. The Krell commander studied the human with cold interest. I'll give you one more chance, human. Turn around and leave. This is Krell business. The human stopped about 10 feet away. He looked at Neela, still held in the soldier's arms. The little girl had stopped screaming, but tears still ran down her face. Then the human looked at Lyra. Their eyes met for just a moment. She saw something in his expression that she hadn't seen in anyone else that day. Anger. Real burning anger. My name is Wujin Kim, the human said. His voice remained calm, but there was steel underneath. I'm a merchant captain. I've been coming to Valorum Station for 5 years. I know the rules here. You're breaking them, the commander laughed. Rules? We are Krell. We make our own rules. Not here you don't, Wujin replied. Valorum Station operates under the Neutral Space Treaty. Any act of aggression here is an act of aggression against all treaty members, including the Terran Coalition. The Terran Coalition, the commander repeated mockingly. You mean Earth? The planet of weak, soft creatures with no natural weapons? We've heard of your people, human. You're not warriors. You're merchants and explorers. You talk about peace while stronger species take what they want. Wujin nodded slowly. You're right about some things. Humans aren't the strongest species. We don't have thick skin like yours. We don't have claws or fangs. We're not built for fighting. The commander smiled, thinking he had won the argument. Then you understand. Leave now and we'll forget you interfered. I wasn't finished, Wujin said. His voice grew quieter, which somehow made it more frightening. We're not built for fighting, that's true. But we're very, very good at it anyway. You know why? The commander's smile faded slightly. Because we don't confuse strength with power, Wujin continued. And we don't confuse weakness with restraint. He touched something on his wrist. A small device beeped once. Within seconds, 3 more humans appeared. They emerged from different spots around the marketplace, moving silently. Each one carried weapons. Each one had been hiding, watching, waiting. One was a woman with short black hair. She stepped out from behind a food stall, a plasma rifle in her hands. Yunsu Park security officer, she said calmly. Another was a younger woman with her hair tied back. She appeared from near a clothing shop, holding a compact energy weapon. Chi Choi, engineer? The third was a man who had been sitting at a cafe table the entire time. He stood up, revealing the weapon hidden under his jacket. Teho Song medic. The Krell soldiers suddenly realized they were surrounded. The 4 humans had positioned themselves perfectly. They had clear shots at every soldier. And they had done it without making a sound. How long? The commander asked quietly. We've been watching you since you entered the marketplace, Wujin answered. We saw what you were planning. We gave you chances to leave. You didn't take them. The commander's hand moved toward his weapon. Instantly, all 4 humans raised theirs. The movement was smooth and synchronized. They had trained together. They knew what they were doing. Don't, Wujin said. Your soldiers are good. but they're wearing heavy armor in a crowded marketplace. They're slow. We're not. You'll get maybe one shot off before we drop all of you." It was true, and the commander knew it. His soldiers were built for strength and intimidation, not for quick combat in tight spaces. The humans had chosen their positions perfectly. "You're bluffing," the commander said, but he didn't sound certain anymore. Wu Jin tapped his wrist device again. "Am I? Why don't you check with your ship?" The commander touched his own communicator. "Status report." There was a long pause. Then a nervous voice replied, "Commander, we have a problem. There's a ship." It appeared out of nowhere. It's big, sir." "What kind of ship?" "Terran Coalition destroyer. It's powered up and has weapons locked on us." The commander's expression changed. Fear flickered across his face for the first time. "That's impossible. We would have detected it." "Humans are good at stealth," Wu Jin said. "It's one of our specialties. Our ships can hide very well when we want them to. That destroyer has been in orbit for 3 hours. It was waiting to see if you'd do the smart thing and leave peacefully." The marketplace was completely silent now. Everyone watched the standoff. The Krell soldiers looked nervous. They were killers and raiders, but they weren't stupid. "A Terran destroyer could tear their ship apart in seconds. You're still bluffing," the commander said. But his voice shook slightly. "You won't start a war over one child. One alien child. She's not even your species." Wu Jin's expression hardened. 20 years ago, your people raided a human colony called New Sol. Do you know what happened?" The commander didn't answer. "You took 50 children," Wu Jin continued. "Human children. For 2 decades, we hunted everyone involved. Every raider. Every buyer. Every single person who touched those children. We got them back. All 50. We tracked them across the galaxy. It took 20 years, but we found them." He took a step closer. "We found the raiders, too. Would you like to know what happened to them?" The commander remained silent. "No, you wouldn't," Wu Jin said, "because they're not around to tell the story. We made sure of that, not because we're cruel, not because we enjoy violence, but because we wanted to send a very clear message. Touch our children, and we will never stop. We will never forgive. We will never forget," he pointed at Neela. "Now you want to take a child in front of me? In front of humans? After what happened at New Sol? Do you really think we'll let that happen again? Do you think we'll stand by and watch? Do you think we only care about human children?" The truth was clear in Wu Jin's eyes. He meant every word. The Krell commander could see it. This wasn't a bluff. This wasn't a negotiation. This was a line in the sand, and the human was daring him to cross it. "We are Krell," the commander said, trying to sound strong. "We don't back down." "Then you'll die here," Wu Jin replied simply. "All of you. Right now. Is that really what you want? To die on a trading station over one child? Starting a war with humanity that your people will lose?" The commander looked around. His soldiers waited for orders. The humans hadn't moved, but their weapons remained steady. Above the station, a destroyer waited. And in the marketplace, dozens of witnesses watched everything. He had a choice to make. Pride or survival? Lyra held her breath. Her daughter's life hung in the balance. Everything depended on what happened in the next few seconds. The commander's jaw clenched. His hands formed fists, but slowly, very slowly, he raised one hand in a gesture of temporary peace. "We're not done here, human," he said. "No," Wu Jin agreed. "We're not." The morning started like any other day on Valorum Station. The marketplace buzzed with activity as merchants from different worlds set up their stalls. Bright fabrics hung from wooden poles. Strange fruits filled baskets. The air smelled of spices and cooking food. Children ran between the stalls, laughing and playing. Lyra arranged her small shop with care. She sold handmade jewelry, each piece crafted with her 4 delicate hands. Her pale blue skin gleamed under the station's artificial lights. Beside her, little Neela played with colorful beads, sorting them by size. The child's laughter brought smiles to passing customers. "Mama, look!" Neela held up a string of blue beads. "I made a pattern." Lyra's heart warmed. "Beautiful, my sweet one. You're learning so fast." Neela was only 5 years old, still so small and innocent. Lyra watched her daughter with pride and fierce love. They had come to Valorum Station 3 months ago, seeking a better life after Neela's father died. The station was safe. It had rules. No violence was allowed here. Many species lived together in peace, at least that's what Lyra believed. The first sign of trouble was the silence. The marketplace grew quiet within seconds. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. Children stopped running. Even the usual hum of the station's system seemed to fade away. Then came the sound of heavy boots. Lyra looked up and felt her blood turn cold. Soldiers marched into the marketplace. They were Krell, a species known across the galaxy for their cruelty. They stood over 7 feet tall with thick gray skin like stone. Their eyes were small and black. Each one carried heavy weapons. "Everyone stay where you are," the lead Krell announced. His voice was deep and harsh. "This station is now under Krell control." Panic rippled through the crowd. Some people tried to run. The Krell soldiers moved fast, blocking all exits. They fired warning shots into the air. The sound was deafening. People screamed and dropped to the ground. Lyra grabbed Neela and pulled her close. "Shh, stay quiet," she whispered. Her forearms wrapped around her daughter, trying to hide her. But it was too late. A Krell soldier was already looking their way. The soldiers moved through the marketplace methodically. They looked at each person carefully. When they saw someone young and healthy, they pulled them aside. Lyra realized with growing horror what was happening. This was a slave raid. No children. One merchant begged as a Krell soldier grabbed his teenage son. "Please, he's all I have." The soldier ignored him. The boy was dragged away, joining a growing line of prisoners. Lyra held Neela tighter. She could feel her daughter trembling. "It's okay," she whispered, though she knew it was a lie. "Just stay very still." The Krell commander walked slowly through the marketplace. He was bigger than the other soldiers. Scars covered his face and arms. He looked at the prisoners with cold calculation like he was counting money. Then his eyes fell on Neela. Lyra felt her heart stop. The commander walked toward them. Each step seemed to last forever. She wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. The soldiers surrounded them on all sides. "That one," the commander said, pointing at Neela. "Young, healthy, she'll work for decades." "No." Lyra stood up, still holding Neela behind her. "Please, not my daughter." The commander looked at her without emotion. "Move aside or we'll move you." 2 soldiers stepped forward. Lyra knew she couldn't fight them. She was small and weak compared to them. But she was a mother, and mothers don't give up. She dropped to her knees. All 4 of her arms spread wide in the traditional Valesian gesture of desperate pleading. Tears ran down her blue cheeks. "She's only 5. Lyra's voice broke. "Please, she's just a baby. She doesn't understand what's happening." "Take me instead. I'll work for you. I'll do anything. Just leave my daughter alone." The commander looked down at her. For a moment, Lyra hoped she saw something like sympathy in his eyes. But then he laughed. It was a cold, cruel sound. "Your offer means nothing," he said. "Young workers are more valuable. They can be trained. They're easier to control, and they'll work much longer before they break. Please." Lyra begged again. "I'm begging you. She's only 5 years old." "Exactly," the commander replied. "Which means we'll get 60 years of work from her. Maybe more. You would give us 20 at best. Your offer makes no economic sense." The other Krell soldiers laughed. To them, this was business. They didn't see Neela as a child. They saw her as a product. A soldier reached down to grab Neela. The little girl screamed and clutched her mother tighter. Lyra held on with all 4 arms, refusing to let go. But the soldier was too strong. He began to pull Neela away. "Mama!" Neela cried out. "Mama, don't let them take me!" "Never!" Lyra shouted. She tried to hold on, but another soldier grabbed her arms and yanked her backward. She fell hard on the ground. "Neela!" The soldier lifted Neela into the air. The child screamed and reached for her mother. Tears streamed down her small face. Lyra tried to get up, but a soldier's boot pressed down on her back, holding her down. This couldn't be happening. This wasn't supposed to happen on Valorum Station. There were rules. There were treaties. Where were the station's guards? Where was anyone who could help? The marketplace was full of people, but no one moved. Everyone was too afraid. They all looked away, unable to watch but too scared to intervene. Lyra felt something break inside her. Her daughter was being taken and she was powerless to stop it. She had failed. She was Neela's mother, her protector, and she had failed. Then someone spoke. "You're making a mistake." The voice was calm and quiet, but somehow it cut through all the noise. Everyone turned to look. A man stepped out from behind a parked transport ship. He was human, Lyra realized. She had seen humans before, but not many. They were rare in this part of space. This one was of average height with dark hair and calm eyes. He wore the simple clothes of a merchant or trader. He didn't look dangerous. He didn't even look particularly strong. But there was something about the way he stood, the way he looked directly at the Krell commander without fear, that made everyone pay attention. The Krell commander turned to face him. "Human," he said with amusement. "This doesn't concern you. Walk away while you still can." The human didn't walk away. Instead, he took a step closer. "I can't do that," he said simply, and that's when everything changed.